the problem of the governors of a state not giving decision and keeping the bills passed by the state legislature with themselves for indefinite period of time has always been in news, and again the issue is coming up to the news, and this is what we will be looking today. Hello and welcome to the In Focus series section of Drishti IAS. I am Aisha Singh, and in today's video we will be talking about the governor's power to assent bill. So how the governor can deal with the bills and what is his role. So first about the news, then about governor reserving bills for president's consideration. Can a governor reserve bill for president or not? Then what the Supreme Court has, how the Supreme Court has addressed this issue in the end, a prelims MCQ. Topic is of relevance from General Studies paper 2, that is polity section. You need to know about the article and the reserving bills for president's consideration aspect. So the news talks about governors must act before state government come to Supreme Court. So this is what the Supreme Court of India has said, and the issue is about the pending bills. So the bills are pending with the governors of a state. So recently what has happened is that there are 3 states, that is Punjab, Kerala and Tamil Nadu, and the state governments of this state has approached the Honorable Supreme Court of India and has brought up this issue of that the bills which are passed by the state legislature, they are pending with the governor for a very long period of time. So the state government has asked the Supreme Court to look into the matter, and a 3-judge bench led by the Chief Justice of India, that is D.Y. Chandrachud, they have said that the governors must act before the matter reaches the court. So the Supreme Court has said that the governors need to look into the aspect and they must act before the matter reaches the court, and the governors should act as soon as possible on the matters of the bills. And why the bills are pending with the governors, why the actions are not taken over it. So this is what is happening as of now. Now let us talk about, first of all, about governor. So who is a governor? If we talk about, then governor, the way the president of India is considered to be the first person of India, in the same way the governor can be considered as the first person of the state. So the governor is the executive head of a state. And if we talk about in constitutional terms, then the article 153 of Indian Constitution, it provides the provision that there shall be a governor for each state. It means the number of states in India, same will be the number of governors also. Then article 154 talks about that the executive power of the state is vested in the governor. It means the executive head of a state will be the governor. The same way the executive head of India is considered to be the president of India. So this is about the constitutional aspect with regard to governor. So we will not be going into knowing about everything about governor. We will particularly restrict ourselves to the topic of the bills and how governor reach to those bills and how the governor is supposed to react and what are his powers. So governor's powers regarding bills in the state legislature. What are the powers that are given to governor and how the governor can react to those powers about the bills which are sent by the state legislature. So the governor's assent is necessary for the bills which are passed by the state legislature to become a law. Like the way in the Lok Sabha, if any bill is passed and the bill needs to become an act, then the assent of the president is mandatory or is required. So the same way, if we talk about the state legislature, on the state level if we talk about, then the state legislature, that is majorly the legislative council and the legislative assembly of a state. So if they pass a bill and the bill has to become an act, then the assent of the governor is necessary. The ultimate and the last say lies with the governor with regard to the state. And if we talk about India, pan India level, then it resides with the President of India. So governor's assent is necessary for the bills to become an act. Now the governor can send the bill back to the house for reconsideration. Now what happens is, if the bill is passed by the legislative assembly and the legislative council of a state, then the bill goes to the governor. Now the governor has three choices to make. Either the governor can give his assent to the bill, so the bill will become an act, the bill will be passed, or the governor can withhold the bill, so the bill will be rejected. And there is a third option also which a governor has, and that is about the governor can give the bill back to the state legislature to reconsider the bill. Reconsideration of the bill can also be done. So either the governor can give his or her assent. If the assent would be given, then bill will become an act. So this is a done process. If withholding of the bill will take place, so the bill will end. But if the process of reconsideration of the bill, so what happens in the reconsideration of the bill is that the governor will get the bill, then governor will take his or her time to get through the bill, and then the governor will pass the bill again back to the state legislature, saying that they need to keep few things in mind. So this time period under which the bill needs to be sent back for the reconsideration to again back to the state legislature is where the whole point is lying, because nothing very specifically is given in the constitution and no time frame is also given in the constitution. So because of which there many a times what happens is that the bills are lying for a very long period of time with the governor, and the bill becomes dormant because there are no action taken on the bills. Now this becomes a problem because no specific time period is given anywhere. So governor can send the bill back to the house for reconsideration. That is the third point. But if the bill is sent back by the house without any change, the governor has to give his assent to that bill. Now what happens is that if the governor sends back the bill to the house, and again if the house passes the bill, then the governor has to give his or her assent to the bill. He cannot send the bill back to the state legislature if it is a money bill. So that is very obvious that in case of the money bill, the reconsideration process cannot take place. Either the assent will be given or the bill will be withheld. Then he or she cannot send the bill back to the state legislature if it is a money bill. This we have already done. So this point was repeated. Now reserving the bill for the president's consideration. Now this is also a point which is there with the governor, that the governor of a state can also keep the bill and can also send the bill for the president's consideration. That is, the governor thinks that this matter needs to have the president consideration also. So the governor also has the right to reserve some bills for the consideration of the president. So this can also be done. And when a governor reserves the bill for the president's consideration, he is no longer involved in the bill's enactment. Because then if the bill is passed on to the president for his or her consideration, then the bill comes under president. Then the role of governor ends into that respect. And even if the president refers it to the assembly for reconsideration, the bill will still be brought before the president and not the governor. Now what happens is that if the governor looks for the president's consideration, then if the president sends back the bill to the house for reconsideration, then if the bill will again be passed, then it will directly go to the president. The role of the governor will not be involved in this respect. Now, the authority which will be involved in this is the President of India. So, this was about reserving the bill for the President consideration also, and in the end also, if the bill will be passed, then the President will give assent, and if the President can withhold the assent also. So, this was about how the governor can react with respect to the bills, and the articles which are related to the bills for the governor is under Article 200 and Article 201. Article 200 talks about governor's power of giving assent or withholding the bill or sending the bill again for the reconsideration. This comes under Article 200, while under Article 201 comes the power of the governor to send the bill for the president's consideration. Now, Supreme Court addresses the issue. So, what has Supreme Court in the past has talked about the issue? So, that is, the Supreme Court has reminded governor that the Constitution expects a decision to return a bill to the State Assembly for reconsideration should be made as soon as possible. So, even if no particular and specific time limit is given in the Constitution, but that does not mean that the governor would take an indefinite period of time to keep the bill with themselves. So that as soon as possible, the bill needs to be sent back. And the sense of immediacy in the matter of returning a bill. So the sense that things should be done in a fast manner needs to be there. As soon as possible contains significant constitutional content and must be borne in mind by the constitutional authorities. So, as soon as possible does not mean that it has no power in it. So, as soon as things should be done so that the bills can be looked into the matter very fast, and the state governments can also move ahead with the things at a faster pace. Now, in the end, a prelims MCQ, and this is a PYQ of the year 2018, and this talks about consider the following statements. So there are two statements and you have to talk about the correct statement. First is, no criminal proceedings shall be instituted against the governor of a state in any court during his term of office. This you should be knowing. Second, the emoluments and allowances of the governor of a state shall not be dismissed during his term of office. So these are two statements. And the codes are 1 only, 2 only, both 1 and 2, neither 1 nor 2. So give me the answer in the comment section, and that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. Till we meet next time, keep reading and keep writing.